21 years serving on the Lakewood City Council, Councilmember Steve Croft is retiring. Welcome to the City TV studio, Steve. It's good to have you here. So you stated that after a great deal of thought, you've decided to retire from the City Council after all these years. So tell us what made it the right decision for you at this time?
It's kind of a combination of where I'm at in life, things that my wife and I want to do, and kind of felt like the right time with projects in the city for me to step back. So it's been something we've talked about for a while, 25 years between council and the commission. That's a while. And, we want to be able to travel more, do things with family. And it's always harder to try to squeeze those into those 1 or 2 weeks in a month where there weren't a lot of meetings.
Right.
So it just felt like the right time.
Yeah, starting the next chapter.
The next
right
chapter.
Time.
And there were a lot of things in the city that I've been working on for a number of years, and they kind of felt at the right phase to hand off.
Okay.
Things I wanted to make sure, a lot of our capital improvement projects, some of our water projects, some of our street calming things that were in process for some of them for a long time. And now they have their own momentum. The systems are set up. I think that they will continue to run well. And I can feel comfortable in stepping back and handing that over to my colleagues and the new council member to move forward.
Great. So let's go back to the chapters previous where we talk about you were involved in the Planning Commission. Tell us about that, those early years, how you started there and then transitioned into running for City Council. So take us back. Let's talk about it.
Well, it even started a little bit before that because I was involved in the Lakewood Schools Committee.
Okay.
So Lakewood's effort to form our own school district. And that kind of got me exposed more to city government than I had been for a while. And it just kind of showed us that you have to be more involved if there are issues that you want to be able to advocate for. So that kind of brought my level of awareness of city government up. And then as part of that process, we got Todd Rogers elected to council, and he appointed me as one of his planning commissioners. That was a great learning opportunity because on a planning commissioner, there are things, it's one of the commissions that's a little more meatier than the others in that there are decisions that you make or you're reviewing things and approving them to move on to city council. So that kind of gave me more of an inside look of how things actually functioned and operated and how involved things were that, from the outside you really don't have the knowledge of or you don't see. And then, one night on the freeway coming home during election season, Todd called me and said, hey, in addition to Wayne Piercy, Bob Wagner's not running. Do you think he'll run? And if you will, some people would like to talk to you. And that was a long hour on the freeway with the cell phone hands-free calling. So things kind of just picked up from there. Going from I hadn't considered running that cycle because I knew Diane Du Bois, and Diane had already decided to run. So it's like I like her. I think she'd be a great council person, so I was going to support Diane. But then when there were 2 seats, it's like, well, both of us could be on there. So that's what kind of moved me from commission to council.
Okay, and that got the ball rolling and off you were.
Yes.
And, might I add to your knowledge of the city, you were actually raised in Lakewood your whole life. Talk about that, being part of the organizations within the city as far as like LYS and
so I grew up in the city or near the city. So as a kid, I remember Bloomfield Park was my park. I remember going down there and playing and being part of baseball. Basketball I only did 1 year because I'm not really great at basketball. But being involved in the park, my brothers and sisters going down there after school or during the summer to play, the games. And I remember used to have like a fort structure there. But that was where we spent
Yep.
our summers. It was close enough that we could bike to and play. And then, the libraries. I always remember going to the libraries. There used to be a little pocket library over by the service station that my grandfather had. So, we'd go see Grandpa and then go to the library and get our books. And then going to school in the city.
A true Lakewood lifer.
Yes.
Yes. So now let's talk about some of the highlights over your 21 years as a council member, 4 years before that on the Planning Commission. But as a council member, talk about the highlights.
I think, project-wise and stuff that really stand out to me. When I first came on council, we were in the middle of doing the sheriff station's renovations. And being able to see how the city did that and how the process worked and where we got the funding from, and then the wonderful product that it was in the end, and how well it's being used. That was really educational for me, but it also kind of got me more interested in the infrastructure side of things. And then having our first solar projects in one of our water wells. That was interesting for me, and trying to move the city further ahead in some of our technology and our environmental concerns. And it's interesting because now, as I ended my career, we're in a major building phase with the city, thanks to Measure L.
Thanks to Measure L that you were part of. You
Yes.
really supported that one.
2 Measure Ls.
Right.
So the first one was the user utility tax upgrade, and then our second one. And I'm really proud of those because I think that's setting the city up well financially in the future. And we're able to do a lot of the things that we weren't able to do as far as infrastructure, catching up. It's wonderful to be able to go buy facilities now and know that, their roofs are done, their air conditioning's done, the lighting's done, City Hall is done, the employees have modern environments to work in now.
And you were really out there, pounding the pavement on that, going through the neighborhoods to, talk about Measure L, right?
Yes, I was actually part of the team that led the vote for the yes on L. So very involved with a lot of our residents, people who were concerned and felt it was the right thing to do. And that wasn't the case, a lot of times in cities when there's a tax measure, electeds want to stay away from it because they're worried that might give a bad reputation for them. But our residents are so good, and if you explain things to them and they can see the benefit for it, then they'll support it. And I can remember our consultant at the time was like, oh, the polls are showing, you're only in the low 50s and, maybe you should cut it back, maybe you shouldn't. And it's like, no, my feedback from our community is, no, they're supportive. Yeah. They understand the need for it. They have the trust in the council that we'll do the right thing with the money, that we're not going to do things, tell them one thing but then do something different with it. And as I left the council, that's what we've done. The work's being done, and the money we said we would set aside for future projects is there. So, I'm glad that the residents had that trust in us and backed us in it. And I think that's really put the city in a great position. Yes. So some of those are some of the projects, but the other things that are probably, I think, most memorable for me are the people. I can't count the number of 100th birthdays that I've been to from our residents.
Hundreds of birthdays.
Hundreds of 100th birthdays. It's in the water.
Right.
So I'm very proud of our water system.
Right.
We have good water. But just, celebrating people's lives, being there for our scouts as they got their awards, or even the younger kids as they're bridging and sharing in their accomplishments. And then, maybe not a happy memory, but a really proud memory is how we dealt with COVID and how the community came together to support each other.
And you at the Weingart Senior Center, being there when it opened back.
Yes.
As mayor, you were mayor then.
And helping people when they couldn't come for meals, driving through and helping deliver meals.
Right.
So it's the people, the kids, being in the parks, Those are the things that I will hold dearest.
Those are some nice highlights. Talk about the boards and committees that you were really interested in and a part of, and what you saw in those boards and committees, the changes that happened.
Yeah, so in city committees that I've been involved with, from water from day one, and then anybody who knows about water in California, you know, there's more fights over water than anything else in the state, but we have a great system. And I'm enough of a nerd to really like the science behind things and understanding how they work. I was able to get on the vector control, which is mosquitoes, which doesn't sound very glamorous, but just the science behind it and the health benefits, the mission behind that of helping protect the residents from emerging diseases that come through, and the science behind what's being done in that field. But those are, you know, those type of committees, and then I've been on the hospital board for a number of years, and being able to see how that has grown in its service to our community. And in the last couple of years, our merger with UCI Health, which has opened up a whole new set of opportunities for our residents for care. So being involved in those type of things.
And along with the boards and committees, though, you also spend a lot of time volunteering and being part of the service organizations. Talk about that. They are important to you. List a few of them and talk about the ones that you're part of.
You know, my service club is the Lions Club, so very proud of them. We do a lot of things with eyesight. So one of the things I'm proudest of there is we identify adults and children who have sight issues that maybe haven't been able to afford a new pair of glasses, or they're struggling in school because they can't see, but their family's not in a situation to help with that. Or maybe they need a computer that's got a larger screen. So that's one of their missions that they do. I've been involved with Pathways Care and Hospice organization, and that one's really close to my heart because they're stepping into situations when it's some of the people's worst parts of their lives, and being able to see how they come in and support individuals or groups during that. And there's been a lot of times where, you know, we hear of someone who's passed and maybe not only have a relationship with them all, but at least we can pass that information on to them. And then you hear later how a widow's group or a family grieving counseling really help them navigate that really tough stretch of their lives.
And the Light Up of Life.
The Light of a Life every year, it's very, very poignant, and you know, it touches you because every year it's a little bit different. It's a remembrance, it's a celebration, but you also see how individuals are being helped by that, and how our city has supported those type of efforts. Light of a Life, Sukasa, domestic violence, you know, our work with the Red Cross, putting smoke detectors up in people's homes, making them safer. So there's so many great organizations.
And the Lakewood Education Foundation. Talk about that.
Which is where I started the whole thing. And we raise money to provide grants for teachers for additional supplemental material for their classes. So whether it be a field trip or special equipment for special needs kids or autistic children who need different apparatus to interact with. So that's a great
one that you started with, Todd.
Yes.
You didn't just join it, you started it, and that's something to be said.
Yeah, it's a great legacy.
It is.
You know, I hope it will go on for many years. The need is definitely still there. That hasn't gone away. And it's nice to see when you meet teachers or families and say, hey, you know, that program really made a difference to my kid. You know, and
so what message or advice would you want to give someone who's thinking of joining public office or becoming a commissioner?
Well, I think get involved. I think the Lakewood Leadership Academy that we've done for the last few years, that's a great way to get an idea of what goes on in the city. They are more involved than you would think from the outside. If you're going to do it, make sure you're committed to doing it well, because they do matter, the commissions, and especially if you get elected. In other cities, we see people who are elected because they want to get elected to something else.
Right.
Or they like the grand openings, they like the photo ops and stuff. But I think it's really important, and what we're lucky in Lakewood is that we have council people who come in and really want to dig in and fix problems, make life better for our residents.
And understand the process. Like your experience being on the Planning Commission really helped you.
That helped that. My work, my professional life, I worked in satellite aerospace. But a lot of that had to do with building things. It may have been a satellite or it may have been a small microchip, but there was a process, and how do you keep track of that? And that really helped me in city council understand budget, the important budgets, how to track things, how to have realistic timing, how to work with people. Our staff is excellent, but they can't know everything or be everywhere. And you have to understand that, and how do you work with, how do you motivate, how do you convince your colleagues that this is a good thing to do, because it still takes three of you to change a direction or to approve something. So you need to develop those skills as well as just being knowledgeable. You also need to think about the people part of it.
Right. And speaking of the people, anything that you'd like to say to the residents of Lakewood? You don't have to say goodbye, because I know you're going to be around. You're not going anywhere. No. But what would you want to say to the residents?
Well, a huge thank you. A thank you for trusting me with the city, trusting that I would have your interests at heart, that, being open to me, helping me be involved in their lives. I never bothered me when somebody would stop me in a grocery store or in the park, want to talk about an issue, because our residents have been, with me at least, there may be an issue, but as soon as they would talk to you about an issue, it was like, how can I help in the solution?
You are approachable. I've seen you in the grocery store. We've run into each other a few times, so that's nice. So, as we close this chapter now, or this book, I guess, you begin a new one, let's talk about your plants. Plans. We'll get to the plants after, but talk about what you're going to do. You're still going to be part of the organizations that you volunteer with and the service organizations.
Yes, still supporting them. I'm still an active Lions Club member. I'm still on the board for UCI Health Lakewood at the hospital, and there's some great things coming up with there. I will definitely stay involved with the exciting stuff that's going to be coming up on the mall. Okay. And voicing my opinion on things that as a resident, what I think should or shouldn't happen there. But my wife and I have always wanted to plan longer trips. We've never been the type that like to do 12 countries in 10 days. We like to go and really enjoy the people, enjoy the culture. So we've got some big trips planned. Overseas, we figure we'll continue to do overseas trips as we're able to, and then, then we'll move to cruises, and then we'll move back to more local domestic trips. We want to spend a lot of time with family. We've got some great nieces and nephews who are in that age that we just love being with them, and they're in different parts of the country, and just enjoying our friends and enjoying our retirement, each other.
Very good. And now on to the plants. You have quite the green thumb. These are the plants from your garden with your wife, Tess, and you grow these wonderful plants, beautiful, and succulents. Tell us what you do with them, and we'll continue to do.
I mainly clean up.
Oh, okay.
Tess is the one that grows things. I'm the one that I know every time I go to Home Depot, I need to get a bag of soil. You'd think that my house would be 5 feet above everybody else's with all the soil over the years, but she's got the green thumb. But she loves growing plants. She's very good at it. Things seem to multiply.
And then some.
Yes. And you know, there's only so much room in the yard.
Okay.
So we've used them to donate for our Special Olympics here in the city of Lakewood, our adaptive learning. So some of them have been used for
Fundraisers.
for fundraisers for that. I find it peaceful. It keeps us active. It keeps, you know, the house looks nice.
Well, they look beautiful.
Thank you.
And I'm glad we have them here to display for the next fundraiser. So,
Yes, but it's very much my wife who grows, and
okay.
I'm the labor that just moves things and digs,
That's
and
great.
it's a partnership.
All right. Well, we want to wish you all the best, Steve. We are going to miss you dearly. Many years you've come here in the studio and chatted with us, and we know we will see you around. You're not going anywhere. I mean, when you're home, we'll see you at a council meeting.
I'm a Lakewood lifer.
A lifer, yes, you are a Lakewood lifer. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.